we are. It's the last weekend of the Royal Cork Autumn League. It's got an absolutely stunning day. Maybe 14 knots of wind, quite northerly in direction. We don't have a compass to hand, but it's in the northern sector. We've got 40 seconds to go. We've got all the boats back this weekend. We've got Freya, Meridian, Jump Juice and Frank Doyle in the new 122E. 30 seconds to go. Okay, Margaret, we slow down and just turn left a little bit, Margaret. That'd be lovely. 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Maybe just turn left a little bit more, Margaret, please. 19, 18. Lovely there. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Meridian's looking good to set up another nice start. 8 seconds to go. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. That's good, Margaret. 2, 1. Gun. Lovely start from Meridian. He's been very consistent, Tom Roach, in the starting this series, and no different this week. Jump Juice, pretty good start too, to windward. Nicely trimmed on, mainsail nice and quiet. The Meridian main is looking a little bit out of control. You just see it there, a little bit of a gust on. If we pan back, you see Jump's showing some inversion creases in their main. They're right on max mast bend for the sail set, which is what you want now. This gust is maybe 16 knots. Freya just tacking away. Freya not the best start in the world. A little bit slow with the jib coming in, but she's getting going now and she's off. And here comes Frank Doyle, 112E. A little bit late on the start as well, but he's clear and going. Very steady sail setup, and the boats are off. Wind chill, probably getting the temperature right down here. It's a chilly day on the water. 1 and 2, same conditions. Fresh northerly breeze, maybe 14, 15 knots. We've got near Largo approaching the fleet on port tack. Hopefully looking to tack underneath the group and then lead the charge back to the pin. He's got 37 seconds to go. If I was them, I'd close right up to that fleet. 30 seconds to go. 29, this is good. 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Put the bow down, Dennis, and let's go. 17, 16, 15, 14. Sheet on, lads. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gun. Very nice start by the Tingles. Second across the line near Largo. Very nice conditions here. Much better start. We've got the Artful Dodger, got a nice start there too. Leeward side, Whiplash. Whiplash is going to be slightly compromised by the Tingles, I think, fairly quickly here. Jelly Baby, not one of their better starts. I guess they're clear. They're a little bit to windward. So I'm hoping they've got clear air there. And Coracle struggling. Coracle can tack now. She's clear to tack. She was being held up there quite dramatically by Jelly Baby, but now they're free to go and they've got clear air. Let's see what happens. So we're looking at Meridian there, mid-jibe. Wind out of the north is normally pretty shifty, so it's good to be on your toes as far as taking advantage of all these shifts. Quite a nice jibe there from Tom and the Meridian team. We're looking at Connor Doyle now, the purple spinnaker. I guess they'll be thinking about a jibe soon, but it's not looking that way on the deck. Oh yeah, there's a bit of movement coming. I'm wondering if they're getting set up for a jibe here, James, so stay on the purple spinnaker.
Oh yes.
Just keep filming the purple spinnaker, James. Okay, here they go. They're starting to turn down. Need to really get that clue around nice and quick. Oh, it's gone around the outside, so that's fine. It's a much easier jibe in this amount of breeze. Outside jibe should be fairly quick to reset. Lots of ease on the sheet. Come out a little bit of a hot angle, but that's better than coming out too low and risking a twist. So nice jibe, Connor and the Freya team. Top mark, class 1 and 2. Nice and busy actually. Really busy rounding, all the boats very tight here. It's quite shifty on the first upwind, so I imagine that's what's kept everyone together. We've actually got Jelly Baby here with not the best set in the world. Halyard still not up. It's good. Here we go. They're starting to get that up now. We've got Coracle to leeward running very deep. Artful Dodger and Tingles both side by side. Tingles have got a nice set. They probably need to jibe fairly quickly just to stay clear. Then we've got Waterman's and Ronan on Whiplash there. I mean, Whiplash is right up with the fleet here, so they've had a very good first upwind. Be interesting to see what happens by the time they get down the bottom. Kieran O'Brien and Magnet. Very nice spinnaker set potentially here. Spinnaker straight to the top of the rig. Let's just get it trimmed on nice and quick. Mainsail needs to go out. Jib needs to come down. But all in all, that was quite a tidy set. Straight to the top of the rig, pulling well. So we've got Bad Company coming along the spreader leg here. I think with the benefit of hindsight, probably the wrong jib. They're on their number 3. There's a lot of separation between them and the fleet, but let's just see if they can make up for that with their spinnaker set. Pole was ready nice and early, but there's no guy back. Spinnaker's not going in the air yet. Jib over eased, something we've talked about from day one. Main over trimmed. Maybe they're short-handed. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but not the cleanest set we've ever seen. So class 3 and 4 at the top mark. Last day of the Autumn League, Royal Cork Yacht Club. This is Sean Hanley and Lewis, who's got a really beautiful lead here. He must have got a cracking start to get into this position and got some really nice shifts on the way up here. So he's well ahead. Let's watch this spinnaker set. It's a little bit slow going up. The Genoa is probably over eased right now, which is maybe not helping him. But it's up. We need the pole back. And it's flying. Not too bad. Could have been a little bit sharper, but it's up and they're going. So that's great. Keep up the good work, lads. Okay, James, let's turn to the left. I'm guessing this is flyover. David Marchant. David has traditionally done some fantastic sets, so let's see what's happening here. Pole is up, spinnaker's going up the rig. I don't see any sign of the guy. The guy needs to come back a little bit quicker than this. This is not one of the best sets we've seen from these guys. They're normally much sharper, but it has reached the top of the rig. Almost, there it goes. Trim on the last bit. So let's focus on Bandit, James, the little blue boat. You've got Richie on the foredeck there, the sail's going to the top of the rig. He's slightly blanketed by the Sigma behind him. An early jibe, I think, from Bandit would be a really nice thing to do. And then you get clear. All in all, quite a tidy set. The guys on Musketeer now, very sluggish on the hoist. I'm not sure what's happening there, boys, but at least while you're waiting to hoist, you could be going dead downwind. At the moment, you're sailing very high angle. Okay, James, let's turn our attention to Fulmar Fever, the yellow Fulmar, just to come around the top mark. Robert and the gang, he's remembered about the Genoa, that's nicely sheeted on. Spinnaker's got to the top. Oh, it's got a bit of ventilation on the starboard side there, Robert. Better put that in the North Sails repair bin when you come ashore. Very tidy set. Now the Genoa needs to come down or get furled up really quickly. So we look at Cracker, James. 2 people on the foredeck. No spinnaker in the air. With a little boat like Cracker, we've said it before, that spinnaker should be up now regardless of the pole. Spinnaker should just be in the air and flying, and then we'll sort the pole afterwards. Tom Kirby has probably not quite got enough sail area. I think the forecast was for the breeze to come down, and Tom has got quite a small sail plan up there on the saddler. And a little bit slow here with the spinnaker going up. But it'd be a nice idea to shake that reef out on the way down the run, and then have a little bit more power for the next upwind. Last boat in class 4 coming around the top mark. I think this is Thistle. A little bit soft on the Genoa halyard, but he has got a full sail plan, I think, yeah, which is good, because this breeze has dropped quite a bit, or certainly up at the top mark here it's a lot less, but that could be where we're under the land. Not sure if the spinnaker, no, I think the spinnaker is staying firmly in the bag. They look quite short-handed. There's only 2 people on board, I think. So no harm at all in that. Just going to enjoy what is going to be a beautiful day for sailing. So here we are, top mark, second time, class 0. Connor Doyle stretching his legs now a little bit in the in the X50. I'm not sure if he is laying the mark. He's laying. So we're really interested now in his spinnaker set. Boat's turning down. I'm going to go forward a little bit here. Okay. How far down is he coming? Is he coming all the way to me? He's nearly overdone the turn down. But this is really good. He will be turning up shortly. Okay, James. Spinnaker's going to the top of the rig. This is excellent. We're nice and close here now. Spinnaker's made it to the top. Connor's quite a high angle here. Sail is sheeted on. We need to get rid of the jib now. Okay, there it goes. And they're away. The kicker's fairly well eased. And the mainsail needs to go out. Probably looking at the bottom mark, an early jibe here I think would be good. But let's turn our attention to jump juice. Jump juice pole is low, which is good for the set. Jib's quite well trimmed on. Spinnaker's a bit slow getting to the top. It's nearly there now. It's very wet, actually. Okay, so spinnaker is up and set. Need to blow the jib halyard. There it goes. Pretty clean set there from jump. Now we turn to meridian. Spinnaker made it to the top. Sheeted on pretty quick. Genoa's coming down. We just need to get the boat on angle. Main's slightly over trimmed. Jump now rolling away nicely here. And there it is, up and going. Nice, pretty nice set there from meridian. Down they go. It's such a stunning day now for sailing. These guys are having a beautiful day. Frank Doyle, windward mark, second time. Pole out nice and early. The tack should really be going out now on the spinnaker. That's what that needs to start going really quick. You get the tack all the way out to the pole end, and as that's going, the spinnaker's going up. So let's try and get this sail all the way to the top. A little bit of sheet on to spread the chute. It's not quite around the jib. The jib probably eased a little bit too quickly there. Probably would have just not bothered to ease the sheet, just knock the halyard off and the sail will fall down to the sky. Just sailing a little bit low now, away from the mark. So you need to just tickle the bow up and ease the sheet about 6 feet. And then start focusing on sailing the low angles. But all in all, not a bad set, just a little bit slow. So top mark second time for class 1 and 2. We've got near Largo approaching the top mark. These conditions be suiting them down to the ground now. Spinnaker pole nicely set. You notice the front edge of the spinnaker pole, or the leading edge of the spinnaker pole, is low, which helps the set. We've got the guy now should be going out to the pole end. They're normally very efficient. Here it goes. Okay, so they spread a little early, but the pole came back just a touch quick there, and the boat is currently sailing slightly high angle. Sorry, I'm manoeuvring the boat a little bit here. Got distracted from my principal task, but it wasn't a bad set all in all. It's just a little bit scrappy. I think the mainsail halyard is a little tight, or the Cunningham's on, or something's not quite right there. This looks a little bit tight, but all in all, not a bad set. Top mark second time, class 1 and 2. We've got Paul Tingle and Deirdre on an alpaca, closely followed by Jelly Baby. So this will be really interesting here. See who can get their spinnaker in the air the quickest.
Can you see? Yeah, I can Brian.
Oh, they're going for a jibe on, are they? No, that was an accidental jibe on alpaca. But that's okay. Let's get that spinnaker up in the air nice and quick. All a bit scrappy, but they're going to get away with this. I think that twist will pop out. The only problem they've got really is Jelly Baby right on top of them. But now, oh, now the spinnaker's blown inside the jib. I think this was partly caused by the dirty air from the J109, but also partly caused by not getting it to the top of the rig early, and the jib probably being over-eased a little early, but it's all coming out. There it goes. Just square down. Just sailing a little bit high at the moment. Just get that pole back, get on angle, and away we go. That's sorted. Jibe set from coracle actually started to look really tidy, but the jib was let go and got right in the way of the spinnaker, and I think that's what's caused that little bundle at the bottom of the spinnaker. Now they're going to be lucky to get that out quickly. That's a real twist there, but here it comes. If they don't have to drop this to clean that little wrap out, they'll be doing well. But that was all caused, I think, by the jib being over-eased, and it really messed up the middle of the spinnaker. So we've got the Saxon Senator gone around, jibe set, probably the right route, but they're just a little bit slow getting things going. Spinnaker's going to the top of the mast. Just need to get the guy back now, and everything will be fine. But I think a jibe set away from here, to me, from where I'm sitting, seems to make sense. Okay, let's focus on the other red spinnaker, James. This is the Artful Dodger, guys, from Kinsale. Very tidy set. Got going there nice and quick. And then behind the blue spinnaker, Ronan and Whiplash, just a little bit slow. Very nice set though. Sorry we missed the fine details of that, but it went in the air really quite nicely. So we've made our way down to the bottom mark, just in time to see Jelly Baby and Alpaca going around. They're still locked together after that run down. Jelly Baby's on the inside, spinnaker nicely tied it away. Be interesting to see this rounding now. Okay, the jib has come in quite nicely. Trim looks good, coming away from the mark. Alpaca a little bit slow with their mainsail coming in. I guess they're going maybe straight for attack. Yes, they are. Makes perfect sense. Clear their air, get going. We'll just stay on Jelly Baby now, James, as they come past us. Code 2 jib, full main, maybe a little bit soft on halyard, perhaps on the main. Nicely in-hauled. Possibly a little bit open on top, but not too bad at all. As we've said once or twice before, that's a very old 3DI, original 3DI jib to come to Ireland. Still looking quite usable. So Coracle's come around next. She's in a good position, I'd say, on the water for her rating. She's got a nice lead in her class. She's got the invisible white sail numbers. A little pet hate of mine. Can't really see those in the sunlight, which may be good from a not being spotted on the start line's perspective, but it's not ideal. She's a little pressed. Got the number 1 up. It's quite gusty, so but I think those guys prefer to have the number 1 rather than the number 3. So we've got the Artful Dodger approaching the bottom mark. Jib's gone up, nice and early. It was a little eased on the hoist, but now it looks nicely under control. Pole to the headstay. Halyard should go pretty soon here. Looks like it's going to be quite a tidy takedown if they actually let it go. Oh, stay on them, James. Stay on the red spinnaker, because they're actually tripping it. Okay. Maybe that got stuck or something. Maybe they changed their mind. I'm not sure. But that's turned what looked like it was going to be a really tidy drop into a slightly late drop. Jib is not being wound in. Oh, here it comes, slowly coming in. Ronan and the boys on Whiplash, much tidier drop. Jib in nice and early, slightly soft on halyard perhaps, but otherwise looking quite good. So here we have Ronan Collins and the Whiplash. Nice looking trim at the moment. It's very gusty actually today, so it's hard to have the perfect trim the whole time, but they're looking pretty nice there. Not sure about their rig. The rig looks a little soft from here, but it's very difficult to say. Very difficult to say, but they're looking like they're nicely under control. So we've got Connor Doyle and Freya, X50 approaching the bottom mark. I think they're a little bit high of ley line here, so it's hard to tell. We're a good way clear, but I don't know if they're going to lay. We'll find out very soon. But they're approaching very rapidly. They need to start thinking about getting this spinnaker down. Here comes the jib being unfurled. That's one of the nice things about the 50 there. They can unfurl that jib easily. They're looking fairly comfortable, so maybe they are on ley line. Maybe it's deceptive from where we're sitting here. So they've been spiking the tack off with the spinnaker up until recently, and it looks like they're going to do the same again. Okay, no, they've just let the tack line run, and the sail's being gathered into the main cockpit, or main hatch I should say, but the jib is very over-eased right now. So the jib wrapping around the forestay. If that had conventional battens right now, there's a risk of breaking them. But as they're vertical battens, they're not going to break anything. But that'll be interesting just for the team. You know, the top of the head is currently pointing the wrong way. So when they sheet on, that jib head is going to come under a significant amount of load before the battens pop. We're not quite going to see that from this angle. Sean Hanley on Lewis. They're having a great race here. Be really interesting to see how they end up in the final results. But jib's gone up. Need to start thinking about the spinnaker down. He's rapidly approaching the leeward mark. Like we've said for the series, no points for going round that mark with the spinnaker still up. Very easy jib. You can see that's now going to get wrapped in the spinnaker if we're not careful. That jib should be sheeted on hard. It's one of the points we've made for the whole series. Looks like they're going to get away with it. It's just all a little bit late. Rounding up. Jib not on, main not on. Yeah, jib really not the best. Left it all a little bit late. So let's turn our attention to jump juice, James. Okay? On jump juice, James?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So jump juice done a very tidy early drop. We missed that when we were looking at the other guys. Poles away, everything's away here. So this should be a really clean drop, and they should be able to exit the mark and go clean over the top of Bandit if they get their angles right here. Mainsail needs to come on really quick. We're getting a nice angle for seeing that. Yeah, main's on lovely there. I think that's my colleague probably winding the mainsail, or maybe Column Dunn, I'm not sure. But that's enabled them to get the pointing on straight away, climb above Bandit, and then straight into clear air. Okay, James, so let's, whoa, hold on to your hats. You all right, James? We just had a bit of a speed wobble there in the motorboat. It's still going here. The swell at the bottom mark is quite unpleasant. So we're looking at Meridian. Nice early drop. Jib's wound in, probably be a bit hard. It's going to be difficult to turn the bow up with the jib wound in that tight. Main needs to be on first. Jib needs to be on second to help steer the boat around the mark. But a relatively tidy rounding. The spinnaker's all tucked away, and they're off on their way to the finish line. So we've got Dennis Byrne and Cracker approaching the bottom mark. He's flying his all-round spinnaker here, so it's a running shape. Looking very tidy there when it's drawing well. The Genoa's up quite early here, which is good. Spinnaker coming down early as well. They're letting it run and back into the main hatch. Should make for a really easy takedown. Spinnaker pole, be nice to get the spinnaker pole out of the way before they turn around the leeward mark. I don't think they're quite going to manage that unless they move really quick. Oh, jib sheet's gone. Something we've been talking about a lot here. You've got to be very careful with the jib sheet. Keep the jib under control. Very wide rounding. Just stay on them there, James. Very wide rounding there, Dennis. We need to have a little chat about that, because that is a lot of distance given away there. It's very hard to get back. We've got Frank Doyle and the J112E here.
Yeah.
Breeze is down a couple of clicks now. Boat's starting to look quite nice, nicely under control. I'm not sure if it's true or not. It feels to me like the wind's turned right a little bit. And they're finding it much easier to get to the top mark now on the finish line than before. It looks almost like one, no, it's not really one tack, but it's certainly swung to the right. Really interesting on this clip is the sort of little bit of distortion you get off the battens. And this jib is a roller jib rather than a solid batten jib. So those 3 battens in the lower part of the sail are actually flexible, and you can see they don't really support the back of the sail that well, but the boat's looking very nice. So it's race 2, the last race of the Autumn League for the RCYC. We've got absolutely beautiful conditions now. It's maybe 12 knots, 10 knots, something like that. Wind has shifted right from the previous race. We've got 40 seconds to go here now, and we've got Connor Doyle starting to line up for the start. 30 seconds to go. That's far enough for me, Margaret. I'm happy here. It's lovely. 29. So Connor will be coming our way at speed in a second here. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. He's got a great start here, Connor Doyle. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, very, very close on Meridian. Very close indeed. But again, Meridian gets a cracking start. It's been the same for the series, so well done, Tom Roach. Connor Doyle got a nice start down at this end. I think it looks slightly starboard favoured the line, but he got a lovely start and he was able to use his size and his speed to be absolutely running when the gun went. So that was a much better policy than we've seen in some of the other races. Boat's looking nice now. I just wonder what's going to happen with this breeze, whether it's going to continue to turn right or whether it's going to stabilise at this angle. Time will tell. That's the 1 minute gun for class 1 and 2. So near Largo here, she's taken a much more sensible approach to their starting this week. She was leeward boat in the last start. She really should try and get leeward boat this time, and she could really accelerate. 40 seconds to go here. We've got the Artful Dodger has got the leeward position, but Nilago's doing well here. She's holding everybody up. Just need to be sure they know where the line is. There's 30 seconds to go. 29, 28, 27. Don't pull away too much. 26. Don't need to go that far. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, gun. Oh. Okay, come this side, James. Stay as you are, Margaret. Just drift. Jamesy, switch sides. Okay, very tight on the start line there. I'd say 5 or 6 boats bang on the line. Artful Dodger nicely off at the pin. Dennis Murphy and Neil Largo also very nice start. I think it's slightly starboard favoured, that's the only thing. So I'm looking at Neil Largo, and pre-start I was looking and their mainsail halyard was a little bit tight. So I think it still is now. They're slightly above the band. The breeze is down. So you've got to be a little bit careful not to overdo the halyard. So let's just work down the fleet. We've got Kieran O'Brien next, Magnet. Then we're looking at Rhea Lydon on the 3. I think probably Rhea's a little bit underpowered now. Then we move across, we've got Alpaca and Jelly Baby locked together again, a little bit like last time. Very, very close to each other. They're going to have a good old ding-dong around the track here, but the Tingles are starting to get a little bit of a wiggle on, getting their bow up. But it looks, just looking up the track here, I wonder if the wind's going to flick back left. Looks like a big shift on our left-hand side. Just see if anyone can take advantage of that. So last start for the class 3 and 4 today. Last start of the Autumn League coming up for Peter and his team. Got 48 seconds to go. I think the right end of the line to start is Peter's end, committee boat. Looking up the track, there's some big shifts actually. So it's going to be quite entertaining, this first upwind. Got 34 seconds to go. Big congregation at the committee boat end, which is about right. We've got Raffles turning. 22 seconds to go. She's getting the right side. She's getting the right side of the line now. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Very nicely lined up. 10, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All clear, yeah, clear start. Sean Hanley got a lovely start at the committee boat end. He's first to cross, and he's got the right hand advantage. I think Sean should be in good shape after that, but oh, that's a little cracker I can see. Is he tacking? He's gone out of shot. But not a bad start from him either. We've got a thistle in the foreground here. Just need to get their mainsail trim sorted, get that a little quieter. But beautiful conditions now as we start the final race of the series. So here we have the Olympic course this time. Connor Doyle and the X50 leading the charge. Nice easy jibe on the A-sail boat. And now they're charging their way down to the leeward mark. It's maybe 12 knots of breeze. Everything looking good. Just stay on the X shot, James. Spinnaker, yeah, Spinnaker's nearly up. It's just a little shy on halyard. But very pleasant now. I'd say that boat is doing 8, 9 knots, something like that, charging along. This leg will suit the asymmetric spinnaker setup perfectly. So now let's turn our attention to Jump Juice. Jump has done a fairly sloppy jibe here. I don't know what they're doing at the moment. They don't look right at all. The spinnaker looks horribly over trimmed. They're actually sailing a bit low of the buoy, and they need to get the pole back or bow up or something. It's just the spinnaker is horribly oversheeted. Just ease that away, lads. Maybe ease the main sheet, get everything working. It is very gusty actually. It's very light conditions and very sloppy water now. So James, let's quickly turn to the pink spinnaker. This is Meridian. They're a little bit in the distance, but we just watch this jibe. Poles come off nice and early. Probably Keith and his team on the bow. Yeah, they've made a nice transfer. So it's all about just getting that guy into the pole end and getting the pole up to the spinnaker. There it goes. The caller made. We can even hear from here. Pole's going up. Start to transfer off the lazy sheet onto the guy, and then they'll be able to start bringing the bow up. Little bit. It's taking a bit too long, but they're getting there slowly, and the spinnaker stayed flying all the time. So that's one of the key ingredients for that. So class 1 and 2 approaching the jibe mark. It's a triangle sausage course. This is Jelly Baby. Not sure whether Brian or Kian's on the helm here, but this should be a relatively straightforward jibe for them. No pole to deal with. Just got to get the clew around nice and fast. The guys in the cockpit, yeah, lovely jibe, fellas. Guys in the cockpit, just don't turn up. Oh dear me. Kian Jones overturned the boat there. Absolutely no need for that. Too rapid a turn. Just caused that little mini broach. Otherwise that was going to be like a 10 out of 10 jibe there. Now we turn our attention to the watermans. Unfortunately the spinnaker, oh dear, this could end really badly. The spinnaker's got a rather nasty twist around the forestay. Oh, somebody's hat gone in the water. No, this is bad. This is not going to end well at all, fellas. Okay, so ignore the watermans for now. Let's turn back and we'll look at Coracle. Coracle got their biggest shoot on now. They're going to struggle on this next reach with that up, I would imagine. So there goes the jibe. Very tidy team. Got a lot of spinnaker area up for this next leg. I think they're going to be on their ear a little bit, and this is going to play into the hands of the Jelly Baby, who is now tearing off down the track. Okay, so Dennis and the guys on Nilago. Main is over. Spinnaker just focused there. Oh, okay, sorry. I had a bit of a problem with the sheet, but there we go. So the right thing to do here is to sail low and just get everything in control before trying to come up. Don't come up too early here. There we go. Okay. Now let's focus. Just watch Dennis here going away. They've still got to tidy their pole up, but it's a little bit slow. I can hear Ian offering some words of wisdom. And now they're away. Let's go look at the jibe mark. Okay, what's happening here? With oh, okay. There's a change of sail going on. I think it's I'm not sure what's happening with Whiplash, something strange. Let's focus on the red spinnaker. This is Alpaca. Family crew. It looks like Julie on the bow, I think, today, maybe with Amy helping her. It's a little bit of a struggle here. They've got to get that guy in the pole end and get things nicely under control. This has all taken a little bit too long, but I think they've nearly got it. Now let's just look down the track here, just a little turn to the right, James. It's quite a tight leg, but I thought perhaps Coracle was going to be overpressed, but she looks okay. She's tearing down the leg, and now the tingles have got sorted. So we've got Bag Company and the Artful Dodger. I wonder what's happened to the Artful Dodger. They must have had a very bad upwind. I mean, it was really shifty, but it's put them to the back of the pack here, which is an unusual sight. So we've got Anthony O'Leary, and I'm not sure who's on the outside. It's probably Johnny, I think. Maybe Harry. No, I think Harry. So Anthony with Richie Harrington driving, I think, is Evolution Racing. I think they're winning this series overall, and they're not going to give it up today by the look of it either. Nice early takedown, very tidily done. Nice soft trim on the jib for the roundup. Fairly quickly in on the main. Yeah, that's Harry round second, 1804, Dennis Murphy's boat. Done a very tidy rounding. I think the tide is, I'm not sure if the tide's coming in or coming out. Who's next? Who is that? Oh, that's T-Bone. Yeah, that's Johnny on T-Bone. And the next two have got Brian Toomey on the inside, Gary Rhodes, Heroes of Villains on the outside. And then we've got the under 25s. They're a lot more in touch than I've seen them before, so that's great. They've done a nice early drop, so they've been in good shape to go. Oh, that's an unusual move from Anthony and Richie. Oh, maybe they've done a penalty. I missed. I don't know what's happened there. We missed that. I have focusing on the other teams. So the under 25 crew, RCYC 2, need to get that main in nice and quick. Whoever's on the main. It looks like Batten's. Is there a Batten missing? Yeah, Batten missing from the top of the main, so that's not going to help them. Anyway, we'll start to follow them upwind. Here we go. We've got Richie Harrington saying Anthony's boat round first. Spinnaker straight to the top. Just a big ease on the sheet now, and away they go. Yeah, very nice set, lads and ladies. Really good. I think it's Harry Durkin around next. Very closely followed by Johnny. But the leaders did a really nice set there. They're happy sailing away. So we're on the blue spinnaker now, James, yeah? Yeah. Is that Harry? I don't see Harry there, actually. That looks like Mr. McCann driving, followed by Johnny on T-Bone. Lots of youngsters in those first three boats, which is great to see. Yeah. Then we come to the next white spinnaker, James. We've got Brian Toomey. A little bit of a twist, but it's coming out. Just get that jib down, nice and quick. Big ease on the sheet, and away they go. Just needs a big ease on the sheet. That's it. Nice one. Got the Heroes and Villains. Red and green, but let's focus on the under 25s now. They're in much better contention than I've seen them before, despite the lack of top batten. Let's see what happens here. The jib's nice and tight for the hoist, but we need to start seeing this going in the air, and the tack can't come out too early. So it's up the top. The tack can come out now, but the pole's not out. That's the problem. So with no pole, spinnaker's not going to spread very well. So we're looking at the under 25 team here in the Club 1720. Possibly a little bit too much backstay. but I was only talking to the guys about that. No, I could see the forestay twitching. So the biggest thing that I see here is that the crew need to sit a little bit further forward, and the tack line is just a little bit tight. They've got about 300 or 400 mil there on the tack line, and you could probably double that distance. And the luff of the sail, if you look at the luff of the sail in isolation, it's quite tight. And this is something to do with the 1720 class rules. When they were originally written, the spinnaker pole was much shorter, and now with the longer spinnaker pole, the luff of the spinnaker in the class rules is actually too short to make the sail fly well. So that's why you always see the 1720s with a really eased tack line. So the guys here haven't really eased it enough, but they've also got no top batten in their mainsail. We need to have a look at that, maybe try and get that sorted for them before November. And now just sailing a little bit too low. They need to head up slightly, get a little bit more pressure into the sail. Possibly, no, the kicker looks good. It's just all about balance now, so you need to get the weight forward. Richie Harrington, Anthony O'Leary and the guys leading the charge here. It's pretty tight actually, with Mr. McCann, 1804. But really nice racing here. There's some debate about which is the right way to go. I think Evolution gained a little bit by going out in towards the refinery last time. It looks like they're taking that same route again. Although Johnny has made a little step to the inside, and he looks like he's made a gain. My initial thoughts are he has made a gain, so we'll see. But it takes a while for these things to iron themselves out. But looking from here, he looks like he's made a little bit of a jump. The 25's missing top batten. If you look closely at the top of that mainsail, you'll see it's completely out of control. Those sails should be on the Antiques Roadshow, I reckon. They've probably got some sort of antique value. But I've just had a slap there from Margaret. Not allowed to talk about anything commercial in case we invalidate our insurance. But anyway, we'll edit that out. Oh, okay, here they go. Little tack. Okay, so overturned the boat. Boat 2 heeled over now. Need more backstay to try and flatten that mainsail, but it's going to be very awkward with that, with no top batten. You can see the top of the sail is really completely out of shape. But the boat's 2 heeled over. Need to take some power out. A bit more backstay required, I would say.